What's going on, guys? I gotta get rid of that. What's up, Chris? Chris Noddy, Chris March, Drew, Jeff. What's going on, guys? I think we are rolling. How you doing, Chris March? What's up, Jeff? Congrats on Road America. Thank you. Yeah, can't believe we won, to be honest. That was not what we expected, but we'll take it. Road America was finally good to us. One inch at Loveland, I saw that Colorado was starting to get the high elevation was starting to get a little snow. I feel like the summer went by really quick. I wonder if this is any better. Might be better. What's up, Noah? And I go black. What's up, Alex? All right, I think we're dialed. For some reason, my camera keeps shutting off. I got to figure out how to get that to work better. So I'm rolling with the FaceTime camera. Mark, what's going on, man? Congrats on getting the knot tied, dude. Mark got married recently. Excited to see some huge sends this season. I think the older I get, the less I send, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens. What's up, Munchbox? What's up, Jared? Patrick D. Yeah, I saw like a little reel from A Basin. Showing like just a light dusting. I mean, it's all going to melt, but, you know, just getting those colder temperatures coming in. Yeah, I did get a new Armada fit. I got a blue one. I thought it was going to be here today, but maybe it'll be here tomorrow. But yeah, I did get another Armada outfit. So we'll see how that works in, but... Yeah, I mean, I've just been, I think the last time I live streamed was like literally when I was in Montana. So yeah, just been enjoying the summer. I've been road biking a lot. I think I have like almost 1,700 miles just since like April. So been road biking a lot, and then just between work, and then I enrolled in a CFP program. So I've been kind of extra busy with some other courses and exams and stuff like that. So it's kind of a mix of all that. Did some fun trips over the summer. Went up to BC for some heli hiking. Was out in Mammoth for a little bit with Abe for some skiing. And then racing. I was busy with racing. I feel like we raced a lot with paintball. And then September has honestly really been the first month where I haven't really done a lot of traveling. There was months where I was basically flying every weekend between racing and paintball, and then things like that. So Yeah, it was a busy summer, I'm going to say. So, but it's definitely transitioned. You can feel the cold air, the leaves are changing here. So, probably like 6 weeks we'll be skiing. So, anyways. We had a Stoke squat table. That's awesome. Who all was there? I think did I see Nuno there, Mark? The only trips I have planned as of right now, Chase, is another British Columbia trip in February. And then I'll likely be doing another heli skiing trip with CMH. Don't know exactly the dates or where that is, but that's all I have really planned right now. What's up, Walton? Never thought I'd see the day. I actually yeah, my hair was actually much longer. I got a haircut probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but my van has 135,000 miles now. Neat. I bought the van with 54,000, and now we're at 135. I got to get some service done and all that, but I've never streamed while skiing. No, I don't think. Some people have mentioned that before, but I guess I could try to stream from my phone. But I'm sure with the internet connection and stuff, it could be a little choppy and shaky. But yeah, the only times I've really streamed is in controlled situations like this. So will you hit the bird more this year? I'm planning on it. I guess I'm planning on getting back up there. I don't have an icon pass as of right now, so I got to kind of figure all that out. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go get back up there. So I think I only hit the bird like once, or I think I literally hit opening day and closing day was all I did at the bird. Heli trip in Via Ferrata looked awesome. Yeah, that was gnarly. That was I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I quickly realized I'm not a big fan of heights and exposure and all that, and that definitely tested my. I don't know what it tested, but I had I have no climbing experience or anything like that, so it was a whole new experience. But yeah, it was really fun. Come to Winter Park this year. I should get back to Winter Park. Yeah, I need to do another. I need to. One of the trips high on my list is a Colorado trip because I really only go there early in the season. And I used to live there and I love skiing out there. So I've never done a Europe trip before, Chase. Nope. I've never been to Europe. Never skied out there or anything like that. So I think it'd be cool to start with like a Japan trip maybe. But yeah, I'd be interested in going overseas if the situation is right. Maybe the Northeast tour will happen soon. 30,000 is a lot of subscribers to get, so I'm not saying it won't happen, but yeah. Nino, Jason, Ella, Teresa, Eric, and Nelly. That's so sick, man. That's crazy. Literally, people from the channel. Stoke squat table at a wedding. That's awesome. What are your plans for this winter, Mark? You got anything? Anything planned for the channel or your own ski trips or anything? I'm not saying I'm not going to get an icon pass. I mean, I'll definitely get an icon pass. I just haven't received it yet. Last year was kind of interesting because Deer Valley gave me a season pass, like right as the season was about to start, and then that gave me a really cheap icon pass. So I'm I'm just kind of seeing what is where we're at. I actually did receive an Epic Pass this year, complimentary Epic Pass, which is the first time that's happened. So I think I have to post 3 Instagram posts. like promoting Park City Mountains. So, yeah, so I got a complimentary Epic Pass, which is kind of cool. We were planning trips around the Farmer's Almanac. Not really. No, I've never really I don't know. I've never really been one to follow snow predictions and all that sort of stuff. I think it's just kind of like I'm just a little bit more like if someone really knew, then we'd all be skiing like great snow. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really buy too much into predictions. It's just either gonna snow or it's not gonna snow, So since this is a finance channel, now thoughts on the interest rates cuts. I mean, I think with all the pressure that Powell had and some of the job reports and stuff, I think a quarter point, it is, I don't think it should be very surprising. I feel like the market's been pricing it in for a long time now. So I'll be curious to see kind of what the rest of the year looks like. They're calling for 2 more cuts, and I don't know. I think the quarter point is really what everyone expected. So, but it has been a pretty interesting year for sure. You should do a Jackson and Target trip. Yeah, I got to get back there. I did that. What was it? It's probably like 3 years now. 3 years ago now that I did a Jackson Target trip. Yeah, I want to do a Colorado trip. Obviously back up to BC. I'm really stoked for Kicking Horse and all that. I mean, Jackson. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Major ski trips? I mean, I don't have anything super major. The only thing I really have is a Canada trip. There'll probably be 2 Canada trips. So, yeah, that's really what I have planned. I don't have like a crazy big road trip planned. I don't have like some international tour planned or anything like that. So, but yeah, we'll be back up at Kicking Horse. Be staying in Golden for about a week up there. I don't know if anyone's ever been up in that area, but what's up, Regina? I keep looking at my camera. I realize I'm on this one. Finally skied a little bit at the end of the season. It was presently fun. Where'd you end up going? Were you just like in the Summit County area, or did you go elsewhere? I want to go like probably like February, March in that time, maybe even more in March, and just ski the mountains because Colorado really does have great mountains, great terrain, and all that sort of stuff. So. What's up, Xander? Saw you've been crushing the summer race. Hope the Stoke squad is doing well. Dude, it seems like you're crushing out there in the Everglades, man. I'm kind of stoked to see what you're coming up with and all that sort of stuff. But you got to be safe, man. I get nervous because I feel like you're about to get eaten by a croc or something. Favorite mountain's probably Snowbird, Chase. Snowbird, Kicking Horse, those are really my top 2. I have recently put Kicking Horse ahead of Snowbird this past season, but both are great. They're different in kind of what they offer, but I'm planning on doing the opening days, David. Yeah. I'm planning on it, so. Steam for a few days, then Summit, went to A Basin, Copper, and Breck. Filming crocodiles and gators is a quad black. That's definitely expert level terrain. I mean, I don't think the job report, like, I mean, no one necessarily wants to see, slowing of jobs. And I think it was one of the worst job reports, I think, dating back to COVID. So, but I think that was one of the catalysts that for the Fed to cut rates. The kind of the consensus was the job reports kind of outweighed the inflation. And so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of in a sense, kind of like a sticky situation almost. And I don't know if we've really seen the full effects of tariffs entirely. But yeah, I mean, there's no, unless the job report isn't correct, but, a slowdown in hiring, you can justify it kind of on both sides, right? Because you get a rate cut because of it, but are there more economic consequences that we're not necessarily seeing right now? And this is kind of the start of it. What do you think of the Nissan 350Z? I don't really like Nissans that much, but took a trip to Iceland. Hiked, if you're familiar, would recommend Iceland. Dude, I've always wanted to go to Iceland. Like, just for one, the eternal daylight, and yeah, the terrain just looks crazy. I like Pret helmets. I've used a Pret for a while. I'm probably going to get a new Pret helmet. But yeah, I've used the Pret helmet for many years now, to be honest. So it fits my head well. I think sometimes helmets can be a little bit, you got to make sure the helmet fits you with your goggles and stuff. So I've never really had an issue with the Pret. So the new skis I ordered was the new White Walker 116. It's like a white one. And then I actually ordered a new 106, but they came out with a 106 Ti, meaning that there's titanium in it. And so it's the poplar core, but it basically has titanium like stringers in it. It's really my first time in a while using a ski with metal in it. So kind of curious. I was torn between that and the Declivity 108. So those are the two skis I got. Because I was like, I really don't even use... I only used my 116 last year. I kind of just got to the point where that's the ski I like to use no matter what. And so I was like, I don't even really need to get a skinny ski. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just go with the 108 Declivity. That looks pretty cool. But then, I don't know, I was talking to Joe about it. And I basically ended up with the 106 titanium. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I guess it's going to be something to try. So, yeah, that's what I ordered. And then I got a new ski suit. It's like blue. Did you hear what happened at Utah Valley University? I did, yeah. It's kind of hard not to with, yeah. I did hear what happened. It's awful. Paul's definitely behind. Should have done half a point. Yeah, you're not wrong, Jeff. Or done a quarter point. Done a quarter point sooner. At least threw in another rate cut in there. But there was some talk of him doing half a point today, but that clearly didn't happen. So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to finish out the year. But man, that is one job I do not envy is, the Federal Reserve chair. So Mindbender 106C for my first trip out west. Nice, man. That's a great ski. K2s are dope. Plans on more Tahoe trips. March is always awesome. I mean, no plans, but yeah, I tend to. I don't know. I definitely like Mammoth. I feel like I would find myself in Mammoth more than Tahoe, but the only times I've really been there is during like bigger snowstorms. So kind of just depends this year on like who where the snow is at. If the Northwest is getting a good year, we'll go up there. But it's just always hard. And we have the best snow, so. Have an awesome stream. Looking forward to seeing you shred again. Likewise, brother. Keep up the good work, man. Stay safe out there. I did see that. Regina, that the Northeast is supposed to kind of get the best year. Then maybe we got to go out there. Maybe it's the year of the Northeast. No, I would. I'll stay true to my word about 100,000. If the channel ever hits 100,000, I'll do an East Coast trip. But didn't they? I mean, the East really had a good start of the year last year. I kind of didn't see how they finished, but I think it was like I don't know, maybe it was December, like J Peak and stuff. They were getting like really good snow. So I want to say the East had a good year last year, but again, I don't know exactly how they finished. So. Where you chase the storms kind of impromptu like. Yeah, I feel like I feel like we did that one of those years, and that was a lot of fun. People like that. I guess the struggle with me is like I kind of want something. I want something different. I want something new, and yeah. North Carolina until mid-March. That's why I think like a Japan trip or something could be cool, or something more like international. That would just be totally different. Baker would be cool. That's kind of one of those places that, like, I don't know, you always hear a lot about Baker because they get so much snow, but it's also really one of those, like, one of the last places to not be on one of the big passes. So that would be cool. Yeah, I think I really liked when I went to Crystal Mountain, which is kind of in that area. It's in Washington. And I never got to go to like Stevens Pass and some of the other ones up there, but that would be really cool. Baker looks rad. Trail map looks fun. Mount Hood Meadows was a lot of fun. I feel like the PNW kind of has some sleeper resorts, but again, the issue is just like the snow quality and snow consistency, more or less. So. How's racing been this summer? Racing's honestly been pretty well. I mean, we haven't done all the races, so we're not necessarily like in the championship hunt, but we did six. We've done 6 races. We've had 3 podiums, a win. So we actually have honestly done really well considering the level of competition and stuff. So we're going to Indianapolis next month for the last races of the year. And, yep. I have heard of Beartooth Basin. I've kind of always wanted to check it out. It's like right at the, what's the little snowmobiling town that I'm thinking of right there? Oh man. One time I went to Yellowstone in the summer, and I was super close to it, and I always wanted to check it out. Man, why am I blanking on that town? White Pass, that was the other one too. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, White Pass, Stevens. I've been to Snoqualmie, but yeah, there's quite a few mountains up there. I'm not mountain biking anymore, Nathan. No, I ended up selling my mountain bike. I think it was the end of last year. I've just been road biking a lot. So that's been... Using the word fun is kind of... Cook City, that's what it is. Yeah, Cook City. That's what I'm thinking of. I think it goes the exit of Yellowstone, and then it's Cook City, and then you carry up the road, and you get to that pass up there in Beartooth Basin and all that. But I think they opened this year, which is good, because I think one of the previous years they weren't able to open, so, or they closed early or something like that. But yeah, it's Cook City. But the whole East Village at Deer Valley, the amount of lifts that went in and construction, it's crazy. So I'm kind of excited to see what's new over there this year, because there's supposed to be a bunch of new terrain over there. I'm also debating getting new boots because I have 2 years on my boots, probably I want to say probably 100 days between the 2 years. So I was thinking about getting new boots, 130 flex in the double BOA. Salomon makes a boot with a dual BOA now. It's like the Supra. But I just don't necessarily want to go through a whole new fitting process. I did, Andrew. I went to CU Boulder for grad school. I didn't go there for undergrad, but I did get my MBA there, so I went there from 2016 to 2018. So that was when I skied a lot of Colorado. Was when I was there, obviously. But yeah, it would have been cool to go there for my undergraduate degree, but SCO buffs, yeah. It is really nice. Very nice school. You got the Flatirons right there. It's definitely a fun college town, put it that way. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but New restaurant in Gad Valley? Is that the same restaurant that was there, but they like redid it, right? Because it was closed all last year, I thought. Unless I'm wrong. Is there a second heli hiking video coming? Man, I have the footage for another one. There's so much footage that we got, and there's a whole nother day. But I didn't put it together because I don't know. Because it wasn't a ski video, and so I was thinking about bringing it out still, but I was also like, maybe I just get into some ski videos. Yeah, they closed it to build a new one. Yeah, I guess I'm curious to check it out, see what it's all about. I never really went in there that much, though, in the first place. Fitting's always a pain. I know. That's where I'm like really like, I don't know if I want to go through all that again, but the other thing I was thinking about was like I would just use both my boots in the beginning. So like in the days where my feet are really painful, I can just go back to my old boots, give my feet a break, still be able to ski. No, they were Solomon double boas. I'm sure K2 makes double boas as well, but I was gonna go with the Solomon double boas. What's up, Josh Nelson? What's going on, man? Yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna do a basin early season, unless some stuff changes where I'm not able to, then I won't be able to do it. But right now, I'm planning on it. So what bindings am I gonna get? My new 116s. I'm probably gonna get look pivots on those. I'm going to sell these ones. These are 185s. These were the 116s from 2 years ago. I'm just going to sell this whole setup with that Tyrolia attack on it too. Then these ones I think I'm going to keep for a little bit just because they're really beat up. And that's kind of it. I'm really just going to have a 106, a 116, and a 121 as my quiver. So I think it's pretty solid. See how I like the new 106. Maybe Reggie. I would love to check it out. I know they got like new lifts up there and all that. So but yeah, I did end up really liking the pivot. So I'm probably just going to put the pivot on use the pivot as much as I can. What's up, Kevin? What's going on, man? How come I like thicker skis so much? Well, I think for a lot of the terrain and snow you get out here in Utah, I mean, a thicker ski is just I find myself using it a lot more. I don't ski too much like groomer stuff, so I like having a wider ski for the off-piste sort of unpredictability of terrain. It allows me to ski harder, ski faster, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I don't really ever go out with the intention to just go ski the groomers, so I just feel like I can't ski as hard with a skinny ski. It's definitely a question I get asked a lot. That free spot cat skiing at Whitefish this winter. Is it at Great Northern, Charlie? Or who said that? Mark Brown? What's up, Carter Johnson? I do got to come to Powder Mountain. That is one I agree with you on that. Powder Mountain's sick. I don't think I made it there last year. Charlie F, feel like you have the big snowfields. Yeah, I guess I've never done. I think you mean Big Couloir. I guess snowfields and Corbett's. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I definitely got to get back up to Big Sky when there's better snow and stuff. All that. I guess that would be. I think I would need to be more coordinated with that because I don't know if I have to have a partner for Big Couloir and all that sort of stuff or whatnot. But we're running up them hills. What's going on? You should definitely do that, Mark. Like I thought Great Northern was fun. Like it's kind of a cool little operation up there in that state forest and all that. So I would go rock it, especially if they have a good snow year. It was a lot of fun. Great Northern Powder guy looking to it. I thought it was great. It's a family owned operation. I thought the guides were great. The terrain's cool. I think it's a lot of tree skiing, and that's kind of I guess what cat skiing more or less is. But yeah, it was kind of some unique terrain, I guess. But if you don't like skiing trees, I don't know if it'd be like the most comforting thing to do. But I thought overall it was a nice cat skiing operation. I don't want to say it's cheap because everyone's situation is different, but it's a lot more affordable than like a heli skiing trip. Yeah, one of the drawbacks I guess is like the cat. You know, the cat can take a while and all that, but you got like your own runs, right? So, what state would you want to live in someday? Says Andrew. Oh, Utah. I'm actually in the process of buying a house, buying like a townhome. So I'm actually going to do a little walkthrough right after this. So yeah, I want to live in Utah. I think it's a great state for a lot of reasons. Obviously the skiing is incredible, and it's, with the Salt Lake Airport, we can basically fly anywhere directly, which is really nice. And yeah, I don't really see, a lot of my family's out here now, so I don't see really why I would move somewhere else. I guess permanently, I went to Hawaii in April. I really liked Hawaii, but I would never live there. But I think I would want to put my roots down in Utah and then ultimately travel to other places, rent an Airbnb for a month or something if I want to go somewhere else. But we live in Whitefish. My son is the youngest to go. 8 years old. Wow. Wow. Whitefish was fun. That was a fun little trip whenever I went. Let me wait. Nice storm. Big Couloir, North Summit, Snowfield, you do need a partner. Yes to both. Okay. Well, yeah, it'd be cool to. They'd be cool to do. I was um what am I trying to say? It was surprising that whitefish kind of closed so early. Like I didn't know how low elevation whitefish was, relatively speaking. What are you guys like 4,000 feet, 40 something? So like you got warm, you got rain, and like when I went, it was like one of the last weeks of the year, which I thought was. I guess I was just surprised on that because it's so far north and all that, but. Job Morgan Salt Lake's growing, yeah, for sure. Utah's cheaper around Salt Lake compared to Denver. Yeah, I mean Utah and Colorado are obviously very different states for a lot of reasons. And yeah, Utah, there's still pockets of affordability, I would say. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up mostly in New York, right, upstate New York. So I don't know. I was kind of talking with my girlfriend about where we wanted to go, but Utah just really makes the most sense for what we like to do, and we like being able to go down to the desert, in April and all that, and then you're close to Jackson. You're driving distance if you wanted to go to Mammoth and all that sort of stuff. So 2 hour flight to Calgary, like short of going back to the East Coast, I like it. I mean, it's obviously not a perfect state. There's things I don't like about it, but are you getting new GoPros? So there's not a new Hero this year. Usually they kind of come out with a new GoPro. So I have the Hero the 13s. And then the new Max will likely be coming out. So yeah, I will be getting the new Max and but yeah, I'll be using the GoPro Hero 13. So coming from PA, I'd love to live in the middle of nowhere. I'm in Wyoming. Cheap and land is a plethora. Yeah, that could work. My sister lives up in Jackson, which obviously isn't the middle of nowhere, but I do. Yeah, it's a mystery. I do. Jay, what's going on, man? 43 months. How you been, dude? Fill us in, dude. What's been going on? I see you still cranking up at the mountain and all that sort of stuff. How's biking been? All the ski tents gotten so expensive, even Bozeman. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I mean no one's just buying a house in a ski town really, unless you're very wealthy. What's up, Michael Balelo? The one night I'm sitting in class. Busy, busy, busy. I'm sure you guys are you starting to transition to winter stuff and all that, or what? Ripping, fishing, biking, digging trail, just beautiful. Yeah, it was a great summer, no doubt. Weather was great. Not a lot of, fire smoke. Hey, Megan. If I'm going to get some powder skis for the first time, what type do you recommend? Well, I don't know what you're used to using, but I would say anything probably over like 110 millimeter, maybe like a 112 seems to be a pretty good, powder ski without being like crazy big. I'm getting my mom a powder ski, and I think I'm going to put her in a 112. But most powder skis are all wood. They're, and you don't really find powder skis with metal in them. Most powder skis are going to be full rocker to give you most flotation. So, trying to think. Yeah, I think maybe like around the 112 range would be a pretty good underfoot. And then really from there, it's just kind of what brand do you want to use, because most manufacturers will kind of have their own, they'll have their powder ski, and then it just comes down to like, what is the ski actually made out of? What type of wood is it made out of, and stuff like that. But then it's pretty nominal from there. So I would just get something bigger than like a 110 underfoot. Top 3 ski states. Probably Utah. Oh, it's a tough one. Probably Utah, California, and Montana. Headcore, now it's a great ski. I think they make a Headcore 117, I think, which would be like their powder ski. But yeah, that's a great ski. What are yours, Andrew? What are your top 3 ski states? That's tough because Colorado's hard not to put in there. Maybe it's Utah, Colorado, and Montana, and not California. Working through snowmaking, new lift, prep is kicking off. Is the new lift that one, the, like at the base there of Canyons, whatever that's called? Is that the one you're referring to, Jay? Schweitzer. I've never been. Heard good things, never been. Todd Taylor, what's going on? How you doing? Megan, Utah. Yeah. I know, that's really what I wanted to say, but that's really what it is. I feel like Utah's in such a league of its own that yeah, I don't know. Utah's just the most consistent. You just know you're likely going to get 500 inches of snow a year, and the snow quality is always so dry and just amazing. Utah, Colorado, Cali. I go to Colorado State, so I might be biased. So many great options off I-70. No doubt. Colorado has a ton of options. I think the terrain there is rad. They just typically get like leftover storms from Utah, like it's kind of rare that Colorado gets its own storm system. Sometimes you'll get some that move like kind of north to south from Montana and stuff, but I kind of forgot about Alaska. Yeah, I mean, if you count Canada, then my answer is a little bit different. I think British Columbia, is probably right up there behind Utah. Revy, Kicking Horse, a lot of the stuff on the Powder Highway. But he said states, so I just kept it to the U.S. But maybe an Alaska trip would be cool this winter. Go back up there. I don't think I'd bring the van, but what's up, Logan? Backpacking maroon bells, holding aspen leaves. Hold on till I get there. One last hoorah. That's sick, man. I feel like you're still good for the leaves. Maybe not. I guess we're kind of getting to the end of September. It could go either way. That's going to be amazing, though, if you catch them. Catch the leaves up there, maroon bells. That's awesome. That's true. Wolf Creek always gets... Doesn't Wolf Creek get the most snow in Colorado? And it always seems like it's like early in the year, too. It's like October, and they have like 90% of their terrain open already. Yeah, that's the thing, Andrew. It's just tough to beat. Every mountain in Utah is just... It's incredible. Whether it's Snow Basin or Solitude or Brighton, they're all amazing. And again, the fact that you can just fly into Salt Lake and then, you're within basically an hour or less to all these mountains. It's like you just can't beat it. And you can come to Utah, you can stay in Salt Lake or wherever, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to ski Big Cottonwood one day, Little Cottonwood the next day. I'm going to go up to Park City and ski Deer Valley, and then finish with a Snow Basin day. And it's like, it's opened up a whole new sort of world of skiing. So downhill slow riding, 98 degrees. Wow. I rode today. It was about 65 degrees. I wore a long sleeve because it's just like, when you start sweating and then you're ripping around, it's a little bit brisk. So yeah, we're not 98 degrees. That's wild. Alaska is the only good resort in Alaska. That's probably fair, Landon. I really don't know many other resorts in Alaska. Alaska is rad. It's just I don't like. I feel like it's kind of a small mountain. I mean, it's got really sick terrain, but yeah, that's a good point. I have to look into more resorts, but I think Alyeska is on the Icon Pass now. Maybe last year it went on there or something. What passes are y'all getting, says Megan. I think I'm just going to go with the Epic Icon combo. That's probably the best bet. So I can ski Park City. Can utilize it up in Canada as well. Maybe I'll be able to sneak a Deer Valley season pass. That would be huge, but I don't want to count on that. I think best case I go Deer Valley season pass, Epic Icon, but I guess worst case is Epic Icon, which isn't even that bad. So hot as hell in Hawaii. My girlfriend and I were going to go to Maui like this month, but we just kind of, one thing led to the next and it just didn't really work out. And it's like, man, like everything's just expensive. It's like $1,000 to get there. It's obviously really expensive in Hawaii just to go, but I think we're gonna try to plan for like another April or May trip next year. What island are you on, Mark? Are you on Maui? Are you on just the main island or what? I bought my Icon Pass today and cried. Oh, I know. Icon Pass is expensive, but man, it is. I think it's definitely the superior pass for the most part. But some of yours on the corner. Telluride in the works. Nice, Dan. Great mountain. Yeti Pass in Utah gets you 1 day at each resort. I didn't even know that was a pass. That's kind of cool. 1 day at each resort. What's up, Paul? How's Joe? Joe's been doing great. He's doing really well. He's obviously getting older, but he's a beast. He's literally at water ramping right now. He should be getting done soon, but he's water ramping at the UOP, so he's ready to go. All right, how are you, man? Drew, get that Icon Pass. You can get some snow basin laps in. I know. I just was talking to Roberto like 2 days ago, and we're like talking about getting some laps in at Snow Basin. The meetup was great, man. That was so fun. It really opened my eyes to Snow Basin. Like, the terrain there is just sick. Brian had opening day, huh? You might be the only one, but that could be pretty cool. You have a place in Oahu. There you go. That's sick. Icon, few days, Epic. Alta 10 days. How did you do the How'd you get the 10 days Alta? Did you just buy like day tickets, Regina, or how did that work? So Joe and I will be doing British Columbia. It's going to be me and him and kind of like my extended cousin who's a really good skier. So we'll be doing that. And then I would likely say if I do a heli skiing trip, I'm going to try to bring Joe again. So yeah, well, Joe and I will likely be skiing together again and all that. So I went back another day after the meetup. Need to get up there for a pout. I just so hard to drive past DVPC. I know. It is tough. But man, I think like the terrain there at Snow Basin is just really rad, and the vertical's great. Like the hardest part's always getting to the mountains, whether it's the Cottonwoods or Snow Basin. Like once you're there, you're like, whatever, we're here and all that. So Japan Niseko trip, farm the Icon as you get flights 90 days out. Can get for 600 round trip. Would be sweet content. That would be rad. Flights 90 days out. Where do you fly in for that, Troy? Is just like Tokyo like the place to go? 90 days out for 600 round trip? That means I got to look now. Every time I look at, they're like around $2,000 to get there. And I'm just like, I think it'd be worth it. It'd be sweet content, but it's still 2 G's. Snow Basin meetup was awesome. Definitely need. Yeah, that was so rad. Alex, you rip, man. That was fun. We had such a good crew. Got both Icon and Epic full time in the transit. Nice. Let's go, Ruben. Parking lot pizzas. Oh, I got to bring my pizza oven, the Gosney. That's a great idea. Stay warm, dude. Be safe. I sent the video made with Joe about earning the rocking chair to my aunt who is 64 and skis with me at Telluride, and she absolutely loved it. Hell yeah, dude. That video's great. I mean, it's probably not for everyone, but yeah, that's Joe summed up in like 10 minutes. So your aunt's 64. That's like I think same age Joe is. Yeah, Drew is a great tour guide, and he's a ripping snowboarder too. So, did I get your email? Let me see. I did not get an email from Mark Brown. Nope, I did not get an email, Mark. 10-day card kind of with roller option. That's kind of nice. It's like the old Snowbird Punch passes where you could just like buy days, and then if you don't use them, you don't use them. That's kind of nice. Icon and Ford is epic. Going to ski Fernie, Panorama, and Banff in January. Oh, that's going to be epic, Josh. Banff is unreal. Make sure you go to Lake Louise. We got a discount. My sister did too. She had like a credit. She had like $100-something credit. So yeah, she just used that as her discount. But I don't think I went at all during the strike. I just went to Deer Valley, so. But I think I mentioned it earlier. I ended up getting first time ever, I got a pass. Park City hit me up, and long story short, they gave me a full Epic Pass in exchange for, I think I got to make 3 social media posts about Park City throughout the year, so that was nice of them. Lucas, what was your favorite trip last year? I like when you and your family went up to Canada. The Canada trip was really fun because, I was with all my sisters and whatnot. That was really fun. That definitely ranks up there. I thought the heli skiing trip was really incredible because I was able to take Joe up there, and that whole experience was like just really surreal. And then my trip to Montana for cat skiing was pretty fun because it was, it was a solo trip, so I was really able to focus on the video side of things. And yeah, those are kind of my top 3 trips. But yeah, I think we're going to do another one of those Canada trips this year. I don't know exactly who's all going, but she will ski until the very end. Super active, ride bikes in the off season. Is general a total badass. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's how they're able to stay so young. It's just continuing to do shit. Ride bikes, ski. The movement. The second you stop moving is when it all starts to go down. When's the next video coming out? I check every day. Well, I think I'm probably back into like ski video mode. I was probably going to try to put something out next week. I'm a little bit torn on topics and what exactly to talk about because I've done gear videos. I've done my favorite resorts before, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what to come out with, but definitely going to Louise. One of my favorite places to ski. The backside, yeah. The backside is just nutty. And I think they came out, they're releasing new terrain at the end of this next year, I think. Like maybe April. Gotta get up and go for a walk. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here shortly, but yeah, I really just wanted to get back on YouTube. I haven't really been around in a few months, so um, kind of once post Labor Day hits, it's kind of for me it's kind of transitioning into back into skiing and all that. Obviously, November, December are usually really busy months and all that, so I don't have too much stuff really lined up. I still have my partnership with Zipline and the Stoke Squad goggles and all that. Those are still rolling. I'm a little bit more involved with the Diamond ski bags, so there'll be some more stuff on that. But other than that, yeah, just be cruising around. Maybe I'll link up with Deer Valley again, get a pass from them, but that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really have any huge developments or anything like that. So Snowcat and Panorama was the best $20 I spent. Might be time to work on that Armada endorsement. I think that ship sailed. I think I've looked into it before and all that, and they're really selective with who they support, which I get. And I just don't think kind of content creators and stuff is on their list. So it's all good. I'm open to whatever. If another ski brand were to approach me, like I would. Yeah, I think that's what people misunderstand sometimes. Is it's not like I've had K2 come up to me and I said no, I'm waiting on like an Armada thing. There hasn't been any ski brands. So it's yeah. I try to be pretty transparent with you guys about stuff like that. So I've always been with the zipline stuff and the goggles and all that. So yeah, I don't mind because at the same time I can use what I want and I'm paying for everything. So yeah, you can turn into ski food recipe cooking channel. I know. No, I don't really reach out to companies. I think if like a company wants to work with me, then they would reach out to me, but it's not like I don't like send emails to these ski companies asking them for free pairs of skis because yeah, the relationship's got to be a little bit deeper than that, in my opinion. So yeah, I've on the same side, I've never reached out to a ski company and said, "Hey, this is what I do. Can I get skis?" So see you, Todd. Enjoy, man. Stay cool. I'm down, Mark. Um, let me just. That's my email there. View on the Armada Declivity 1X. So my dad Joe has used the 102 for a while. I literally was about to get the 108, and I ended up getting the 106 Ti, the ARV with the titanium in it. So I was really close to getting the 108. I think the Declivity is a rad ski. The only thing that kept me a little bit away from it is that it's not really a full twin tip. It's not necessarily one of their more freestyle orientated skis, but it's like this all mountain hard charge, which I think is really cool. So I think I still might try the 108 Declivity. So Yeah, I think it'd be a rad ski. Yeah, Dan, if you go on their website and you go to like frequently asked questions, they have a section there and it says Armada only has the capacity for a small team and we approach sponsorship with an outreach mentality. If we are interested, you will hear from us. So, yeah, they don't really they don't really want people like reaching out to them, it sounds like, so whatever. It's all good. It's been years of all this and I genuinely like to ski and that's why I use it. So, yeah, that Declivity 108X seems like a really rad ski. And the 102 seems awesome as well. So I think I'll probably end up pulling the trigger on the 108 and using it. I think having a 108, a 116, and a 121 would be a pretty covered quiver. So no, it's all good, Coconut. I know people come in at different times, but yeah, we'll be going back up to Canada. At least I literally have a trip already reserved for February, and then I'm in talks with CMH. My collaboration with them has also grown, which is cool. I'm doing more work, I think, with CMH, which is the heli skiing operation up there. So I'm sure I'll be back up again for some sort of heli skiing operation. It might be at a new place. I don't really know yet. But other than that, there's nothing planned for more abroad. But I would like to do a maybe like a Japan trip or something. So thanks, Chris. Be safe, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You sent me the DM, was like, "Hey, I think it'd be cool to do the live stream," and I was like, "Chris is right. It's been a while. I need to get back. I need to get back on the Stoke squad." So they replaced the TI anyway. The 115X, that also seems like a rad ski. I've never used them, so I mean, again, I don't really know. I mean, I think the White Walker 116 or like the ARV JJUL, I would lean more towards if I'm in that underfoot, but um, yeah, that's all. I've never skied a declivity, so it's hard for me to say. It would be cool to try like the 115 back to back with the White Walker 116 and see the difference. But we're into a bunch of Armada kids testing their new. That makes sense. I mean, to be honest, man, I'm comfortable with a 116 on the early season days. But it's a big ski. I mean, it's like fundamentally just incorrect to use that big of a ski on those days. So I think it might maybe it's just an experience thing. But there's no doubt, a 108, a 116, those are all really big skis to use on hardpack. I mean, some would say nothing bigger than a 100 underfoot and all that. So I mean, at the end of the day, skiing all comes down to personal preference, you know, and what you like using and stuff. And I find that I can make the 116 work in a lot of situations, but I've never used like an 84 carving ski either, you know. So, yo, Roberto, what's up, man? We were just talking about you and Drew and Snow Basin and the meetup and all that good stuff. So, but all right, guys, I appreciate everyone hanging out. I got to go run down to Heber for something. And I'm probably going to come out with a video here in a few days. And if not, I'm going to start to picking up live stream again each week. So that's where we're at. How long were we on for? About like an hour, a little bit more than an hour, I think. So, Reggie, see you out there, man. Japan will 1,000% blow your mind. See you, Dan. Jay, Roberto, Coconut. Thanks, guys. Peace.